What shall we drink to?
Starting over.
How about new beginnings? Let's hope they never end.
Sounds good to me.
Walked away from love and thought it wasn't right. Starting over. And you feel like you're gonna.
Why did I ever let you slip away?
Lying. Start over, you fool. It's easy to do. Don't lay it an ending. Get a hold of you. Walk towards the future. Get out of the past and remember the good things in life.
You know they sometimes last. Starting over.
When you something thought it would be right.
That's such a fucking. Okay, I don't know why he bought Shimmy Slide. That man. Wait.
Because that's a novelty song.
Yes.
John de Hart doesn't write novelties. He writes songs that go straight to the de Hart.
That's what I just realized is that he is all Hart, John de Hart, not Shimmy Slide. That's just some bullshit. That's like
right. That's like Achy Breaky Heart.
that's
bullshit.
That's some shit you play at the wedding. John's not into that. I mean, he's into marriage and monogamy and all that. Yeah, starting over, obviously. And we're not really starting over, but we should start with what we have already gone over.
Right.
What did we cover?
We learned that our hero cops, Rick and Huck, have been thrown off the force because of a dirty cop named Norad, who's also
Normad.
Normad, you're right.
M,
that's why I hate that. I told you I was going to fuck that name up.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that name. We learned that he's got a lot of what's the phrase? A lot of irons in the fire or some shit. Where
yeah, that's the one.
He's a cop. We're going to learn soon. He's a judge. He's a Satanist and a drug smuggler.
You're right. I never.
He's like the evil version of Lainey, who's got her limo service, her club, her bar, her nail salon service, her sanitation service. Yeah.
You're goddamn right about that.
So we learned that he ruined these guys. Rick, who like any day above ground's a good day to me.
Yeah.
He's handling cool. Fucking our boy Huck is fucking destroyed, distraught.
Yeah. I mean, we slowly started to unravel Huck's history and that he's going through a divorce and his wife's on his case about the alimony. That's where, of course, we left off. But we're really unraveling a real character throughout wherever the fuck Rick's boring ass story.
Yeah, meanwhile, Rick is like he's just landed on his feet. He lost a job, but he's being a limo. He's happy as a limo driver.
Yeah,
and his love of his life, Cindy, is back with him, who is also in that coven with Normad.
I mean, Rick is not even afraid of losing another job because he has those teen prom, people, and he fucking drops them off in the desert.
Right. Well,
like, survive on your own. Adios, Bella Lugosi.
You got to show some respect, man.
Rick really does. He's as shitty as Huck sometimes is. Huck shows his frustration by punching cops.
And shooting bills.
Rick is just like, hey, you innocent teenagers, I don't like you. Get off my lawn. Get out of my limo.
Right. So when we left you, fucking Huck had hit rock bottom. He's gone off to jail.
Yeah. Rick, again, we've mentioned, he's hitting it off with
moving
Cindy.
in with Cindy, bailing on fucking
We're going to go
Huck.
hang out with Duke. Who the fuck is Duke? Maybe it's Cindy. Yeah, I got it right. Cindy's dad. Who knows? But we got that happening, and poor fucking Huck. This is an emotional wreck. Of course, Rick was never there for him except to give him a beer and be like, "Why don't you cry over there in the corner, my friend?
Why don't you just chill the hell out,
man,
and get some fresh air? Walk.
I don't want no class."
That's his answer to a guy who's like probably suicidal at this time.
Yeah.
Get some fresh air.
I love that we're going to cover this ground in the second half here, but later on he's trying to like talk about how close him and Huck are, and it's like
best friends.
No, motherfucker, you slept in the same house, you used them, you fucking abused him, and you're just losing them now. You're just leaving them.
I like that. Jesse Jackson would say something like that.
Thank you.
And so before that, like we got to cut to what that cunt Alex is up to. His Huck's ex-wife. We kind of picked up on because Huck, not only is he he's like the greatest cop ever. He can just tell, like, looking at her. Something's up with her and Normad.
I also realized he mentioned, I saw you driving around in that topless Mercedes the other day.
Oh, that's right.
With that fat cat, Normad.
And he knows how to handle some tits because she told us that.
Yes.
I mean, Huck can't do everything. I mean, you can't. Just because the guy can't handle some tits doesn't mean you got to throw him out. Come on there.
That's right. That's right.
So that cunt, I'm going to say it, cunt, Alex, immediately runs to Normad.
New outfit because, of course, her last one was ripped up.
Right.
Leopard
right.
print.
That I'm sure Huck paid for.
Yes.
And so she's just like, oh, by the way, I bumped into my loser ex-husband.
She's just having a fun time. Oh, Normad, it's so good to see you. He's adjusting his fucking glasses. He loves those glasses.
Yeah.
It's so much so that he points it out later. Like, how my glasses look, boys. He loves them.
And she's like, how did she mention that she...
She was just like, oh, man, it was the weirdest thing. Huck was talking about you. Huck! Finny? What were you doing with him?
He's like, what did I tell you about telling people about my business? And then he just bitch slaps her.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't mean anything. Slaps her again.
And I'm sorry, but she was just like sitting there taking it. She was stunned by this outrage. But Norman's a fuck. We know this, so this is not the first time.
He's a Satanist, for Christ's sake.
Fuck's sake. He's murdering babies. Yeah. This is what the pro-lifers should be going at. Normads, who are judges. I'm pretty sure all Normads are
well,
judges.
Apparently, Alex is into that shit. She likes a man who puts her in her place. Because she's just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, he tells her, go get dressed because you look like a skank. And let's get ready to go. And she just starts undressing right there.
She does. I forgot that.
Yeah.
And so then we cut to the courtroom. Of course, fucking Huck fucked up with his bail by getting into another problem.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is to see whether they're going to revoke his bail or not. But who the fuck's the judge? Normad, which I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you just become a cop and then become a judge.
To judge.
Yeah, you got to be a lawyer. Yeah, I don't know what John de Hart. I guess this proves that John de Hart wasn't a lawyer at the time. Because I think he would know this.
Isn't it an elected position?
Yes, it is an elected position.
So technically, he could have been elected.
No, you have to. I think you have to be a lawyer.
I don't think so.
I think you do.
I think you probably should know the law.
Well, maybe in the world we live in now, you don't have to.
I know people have argued you can't appoint that man to be a judge because they don't know the law at all. And as we know, cops don't know the law at all. So, yeah, we've got he's like the district attorney or whatever, and so he's fighting against Huck, who's standing next to him right here.
And we know Huck's innocent.
Yeah.
But he's got out for him, and he's just like, Huck is like, you fucking framed me before. You can't be my fucking judge. This is crazy. You in your fucking black dress. You need to put some pantyhose and pearls on to finish that ensemble.
Clearly a John de Hart line, but then
John de Hart, yes, it clearly is, because in that interview we both keep referencing, he pointed out.
Oh yeah, that was
my line he used.
That was my line. And so he can't. He has to yes and himself, because then Rick pipes in from the background. He's not there. I want to point out, I pointed this out to Murray and I blew his fucking mind. I don't think you cared at all. No, but whenever they go to court, Cindy is not there. Laney's there.
Wow, so they're perfect for each other. Two shitheads who just care about themselves.
Yes, but Laney, throughout this movie, she pops up in 9 different scenes.
But in defense of Rick, I can't believe I'm not going to talk about Laney at all. In defense of Rick, which I can't believe I'm saying this, he never spent more than 5 minutes. We learned that great scene that you and I reenacted with Alex. So maybe Huck has never spent more than 5 minutes with Cindy. So maybe why would Cindy be there then?
Okay, good point. Okay. He obviously had more time, because this was.
How can you be best friends and never be around your friend's wife?
I know.
That just shows what not a friend Rick is.
And we mentioned how shallow Rick is, that when he finally got a Cindy, I almost said Stacy, back in his life, he was just like, boy, adios, Hucky Lugosi. He fucking abandoned him. I don't think. Do you think Huck did that to Rick?
No.
I don't think he did that at all.
Huck would never do that to Rick.
Huck was like, come over for a pool party, have a hot dog with me and Alex, Because how else would Huck be suspicious of him fucking his wife?
Right.
They had to be in the same room a lot.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I just
Right.
that's gonna be right up there with no. It's gonna be right.
Okay.
Okay. I want to kill this guy.
This fringe fucking.
This fringe. That's a line that's very popular today. These fringe fucks. Because we have a lot of fringe groups out there saying a lot of things that people are like, well, that's what that whole side's about. It's like, no, those are the fringe fucks. I love this, though, because whenever...
Fringe fuck benefits.
There we go. Whenever Rick is in court, he wears his little glasses. He's got a nice suit on. And then you have Lainey there in this same outfit. This is...
She's doing some crazy, like you pointed out, like Dolly Parton. These
Yeah.
crazy country western outfits.
Yeah, super platinum blonde, like rock hard hair.
Right.
It does not move at all. Rock hard tits. Always wearing that same jacket where they're like... She's got a corset on or something because it's like Renaissance titties. They're just flying out of that thing. And so she's there. And, okay, Huck has just delivered his beautiful John de Hart written line, pearls and pantyhose.
He made chicken salad from chicken shit. Like, that's a horrible line.
Rick has to yes and himself. He has to add to it, yeah, what is this, some kind of kangaroo court?
And then all of a sudden, Normet's had another. This guy's in contempt of court. Rescind his bail.
Oh my God! And Rick's still yelling out, "This man shouldn't be a judge. We need to get him off the panel." He goes into his Bernie Sanders speech. He's throwing his hands up.
Well,
in the
right,
air.
and then he when they go outside the court, him and Laney bum rush the DA.
Yeah.
They go, "Hey, you polyester puppet."
Polyester
Puts
puppet.
immediately in his place. He's like,
He loves
this
peace.
guy was our commanding officer, got us thrown off the force. This is like a conflict of interest here. Well, I'll look into that. That sounds interesting. I'll look into that.
That sounds real interesting. The guy's looking over like his coupons. He's realizing his fucking $5 off at Los Tres Amigos is about to go under. He's like, I gotta go visit Vinny right now, guys. I don't know if I have time for this. You have a file or something? I got fucking pizza nachos to eat.
He's like, better call Saul.
Better
and then
call
he just
Saul.
walks away. And then so now we cut to our boy Huck. He's in jail.
The star of the movie, by the way.
Right.
The star of the movie.
At the lowest point of his life, and he's just getting zen. This is where the transformation begins.
I gotta
Rev.
say, John de Hart again, fucking rocking out this scene. Again, you just get that tiny. It's like in a cellar. It's in a prison, you know. So you only get that little bit of natural light coming
So
through.
you're basically saying, because you pointed it out multiple times, John de Hart's true skill is lighting a scene, a set.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
should have put all his efforts into that instead of
I
acting.
think so. I think he actually did have kind of a knack for what builds up an emotional scene. Because, come on, when you saw Huck there in that cell, dark, damp, and you're like, oh, dingy. You know that smell.
Well, you know it's dingy because the cleaning guy comes by.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, hey, how you doing? Like, oh, I gotta go take a leak. I'll see you. He leaves for a minute. Huck, I think this scene, it looks like he's going to try to commit suicide. I don't think so. I think he's finally reached his moment of zen, and he's like, now I become the Huck I was meant to be. So this is a ruse to get out of jail.
I thought he just thought he contracted COVID.
That could be that too. You're onto something with that. But yes, he drinks bleach. He grabs some bleach from the cleaning guy.
He chugs it. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin on a top turnbuckle.
Give me a hell yeah! And then he just starts pouring it down his face. And so he winds up in the hospital, as you would expect. And we have a nun who's trying to give her fucking religious claptrap on this guy. Like, hey, God always gives us as much suffering as we can handle.
Don't you know that some people may not have shoes? I don't want to
Don't
hear
you
about
know
the
she
shoes,
gives the
man.
worst line rating of
Yeah.
that's possible in this movie.
It's rough,
Don't
yeah.
you know that God loves you?
You may have shoes, but some people don't even have feet. We're talking Huck is here. He's kind of rocking back and forth,
Yeah.
cigarette in hand, and a glass of water, half full, and he's just studying it.
Well,
While
like I
this-
said, this is where he becomes the Huck he was meant to be.
Yeah.
Like, he rejects fucking organized religion in this scene.
Yeah.
He's like, right. Well, would your God pay my bills and pay my wife's alimony and get my job back, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And she has no answers. No answers.
No answers.
She's like, well, I'll pray for you. And then she leaves.
Thoughts and prayers. Hold on. I'll spread out a Twitter word for you. T&P. Get fucked. 4 eyes. He doesn't even have glasses on. What's wrong with this nun?
And just as she walks out, Cindy and Rick show up. And then Rick, oblivious to anyone's pain, hey, I heard about that bleach thing. That sounded pretty cool.
Hey, I heard you did the bleach thing. And even Huck is just like, yeah, man, I did the bleach thing. What was that? What was that?
He had such a smile on his face. His friend tried to commit suicide. And he's like,
it was almost like John was not on set for that scene. And they were like, oh, Rick, excuse me, Wings introduced a great idea for him to like get poisoned and get out of the jail cell. Right. He drank bleach. And so John de Hart, Rick, in the scene was just like, oh my God.
I just blew my own mind. I just realized, like, he just gets out of jail. Like, he's just free after this.
Yeah, they don't bother. Was he in court of contempt?
He was in contempt of court. Yes,
Wait,
contempt of court is only like a few days. That's not like.
Okay. So that.
But I thought the whole point of the scene was they were going to revoke his bail for the fight earlier.
Put him back in jail.
I don't know. I guess revolving door. This legal system. But getting back to
liberal.
to Huck,
we do know what happens because the judge Norman got in trouble. And he couldn't oversee that case, so they threw the case.
Well, they must have been a scene that was on the cutting room floor.
No, they said it in that scene.
Oh, did they?
They did. They do mention it because that was the good. Hey, I heard you drank the bleach.
I was so amazed by that fucking cold-hearted bleach thing joke. I just zoned out.
We're not kidding. This scene is 2 minutes long, and there's so much information that Murray was missing pieces. We still got fucking Huck rocking back and forth, smoking, staring at that glass of water. Bleach, flowers going around. Hey, we're going over to Cindy's father's house to pick up her clothes, but maybe we'll come back. Maybe we'll see you again. I don't know. Adios, Bella Lugosi.
I don't know. Keep that bleach away from them clothes.
Hey, bleach. But yeah, they do. He's like, hey, Norman's in trouble. You got the case thrown. So that's why.
Well, so he's like, so I drank bleach for nothing.
Yeah.
But he's like. What we learn is he's always a glass half full guy,
and he's really he had that nun preaching at him, and so now he's like very much like my youngest nephew. He's a parrot, so he's just like, I'm gonna give this a little try myself. Hey Rick, is this glass of water half empty or half full?
Well, it's got some ashes in there.
No, it's water.
No, he goes no. Is it half full? Because Rick, he's always a half glass, half full guy. So he's like, well, it's half full. And then he, like you said, he busts out the fucking Confucius kind of line.
Oh yeah, Bruce Lee, type shit.
Always be like water.
Always be like water.
Flowing.
No. And so yeah, he hits him with no, it's water.
And this is, bam. He's the Huck we need. From that moment, word.
This is perfection. I know you probably didn't agree with this, but this is when finally, I just watched this today, so I'm bringing it up. This is when Agent Cooper finally comes back in the 15th episode of the third season.
Second to last episode where you're like...
No, it's the third to last.
Oh, well.
But it was like right at the end when he finally pulls off all the like IVs. A little better done than Neil Breen did it.
Yeah, they were actually inserted in his body.
And he's Agent Cooper again. Yeah.
Yeah. So they just bail on Rick to get those clothes from Cindy's parents. So now we're finally going to...
Yeah, we're pretending this movie isn't about Huck. We're going back to Rick.
So Rick, and they get in this Suzuki Samurai, and they drive over there. Beautiful. Rick got his finest Sunday leather pants and Garth Brooks shirt.
Oh, my God. I'm so glad you said Garth. Growing up, loving Garth Brooks, I've seen all these shirts. He wore them on all of his covers. He has one where it's like a crossword puzzle. And it's like, instead of being black and white, it's black and, I think it's black and blue, or it's red and black. I think it's red and black. And he's wearing a shirt to go along with the crossword, so it has random squares on it.
Oh, my God.
It's amazing. Okay, so they're going, God, that shirt is amazing. If I found one of those, if you find one of those, buy it for me.
I won't, but okay.
Samurai Suzuki, heading
they show
north
up.
Or south?
I don't know.
We need to make sure people know where they're going. We paint a portrait here for everybody. I want to
South by Southwest.
I love it.
And Santa Barbara. That's where they're at.
Thank you.
I know that much.
Yeah.
And we see the dad who's got the new wife, the new trophy broad.
Yeah, again, everybody in
her
this
name's
movie
Melania, I think was her name.
Okay, we talked about
Oksana.
Laney being 80.
Yeah. Well, this guy looks like Captain Kangaroo. He
does.
He's like old as fuck.
I mean, he looked like he was sub 60. Yeah. And then his wife looked like she was in her mid to late 30s.
Yeah, and he's just Cindy has got her shit together too, but he's just, you're never good enough. That's probably why she was driven to fucking Satanism and drugs.
Yeah, as we learned, we had to really understand this ourselves because Rick was completely like, I don't know what you're saying right now, but your thigh is quite meaty. He was just
that's that we think oblivious Rick. He knows he's never met her parents. He met Laney.
I said this before.
Yeah.
I don't get this at all because they dated before, and yet he's acting like he never knew about these problems with her parents.
Yeah, so the guy's like, who's this? One of your druggy friends?
The dubbing on this is perfection, by the way.
And he's like, no, he's a great guy. He's like, first of all, I don't do drugs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Well, if she says he was a cop, and now he's a limo driver. And so, why did he get kicked off the force? Why am I doing Rick's voice?
I don't know.
Okay, why did he get kicked off the force? Probably doing drugs? Was he into that Satan shit? Get behind me, Satan.
First of all, I don't worship Satan or do drugs.
Rick has removed his sunglasses, which of course have the band so we can just let him hang because he's 80.
And if you have a problem with me loving this lady, starting over, you can go to hell.
I like his little plug for a CD. He's probably got a CD tucked in his back pocket. Like, I don't know what you're talking about here, Cindy. I think your dad's a pretty cool guy. I'm going to give him my demo disc. I'll let him
So while that's all going on, her stepmom, who's younger than her, throws the clothes out in like a cardboard box. Like, get out of here. We don't want you in our life anymore. So they storm off, jump in the Suzuki Samurai. They go north by northwest or east.
Yeah, you said south by southwest.
Okay, north by northeast. And they head back home.
They pull over, of course, and you were right. I'm
pull
glad you pointed. I was
pulling over. When you gotta get your head right.
Pulling over when they got.
Once again, you blow my mind, Griff. You're right, because there's a great sunset shot.
That's the lighting, the moon. I'm putting this together now. Sun and moon, Huck and Rick. One provides life, one drains life. This is fucking amazing. This is John de Hart is a guy, misunderstood genius.
Right. Perfect.
Wow, we folded this over like it's a
goddamn
So we
just
bread.
See the silhouette of them just sitting on the hood of that Suzuki Samurai.
They're talking life, and he's talking. This is actually where he's talking. Rick is talking hard about Huck. I gotta tell you, see, Huck.
I know they've been together for weeks, and now he's getting around to talking about Huck.
They've been together for weeks, and they've been together prior. Let's remember, they dated before, and Rick never mentioned
Remember,
Huck.
they're starting over.
And now they're pulling over.
Pulling over.
When the M&M's fell under the seat. You gotta get those out before they melt.
So he's just like, my friend, Huck, he's going through a lot of stuff. You know me, any day above ground's a good day, but my friend Huck, he's not doing so well.
You see, what happened is we went out on this mission. He brings up the opening
this drug raid,
and we were supposed to be backed up by this man. He goes by Normad. And Cindy, all gears are clicking, but
she's like, that sounds familiar.
She's not. God, I think I remember a man who talked like he chewed glass for fun, but it's just not.
He did a great Macho Man Randy Savage impression.
Oh yeah, he was always telling me about the cream of the crop.
Speaking of Normad, we cut right back to Normad in his home bar.
I love this scene, by the way.
And Scar is showing up, and he's like, you mentioned earlier, he's like, there's this guy, Rick, He's got the snakeskin. He didn't say Rick. He's like, this guy with snakeskin boots. He's too powerful for us.
He's a real badass. I gotta tell you, if we don't get this man, I need to get this man. I'm going to pile drive him until his children are dead. I want that dead.
Well, first he goes, no. Before he says that, he's like, before we get into that, you guys aren't dressing really well for this kind of neighborhood. You come to my house, you don't draw attention. No leather on leather. No Garth Brooks shirts. You dress classy.
Put a little bow on
You see this drink? This drink is classy. You dress like this drink.
If I'm going to give you a bullet, you need to be dressed for a bullet.
And you're like, sure, boss, whatever you want. But this guy you want to stop, he's unstoppable.
Okay.
You kill everybody. I don't give a shit who it is. Man, woman, child. You stop this guy.
He was a little reluctant at first. He was like, I don't know if I want you guys getting sidetracked. And then Scar is just like, he had Stacy with her.
Well, even before that, and then I forgot.
Wow, we're Tarantinoing this whole scene. This is a 1 minute scene, and we're turning it into a 45-minute Tarantino.
After he berates their clothing, their attire, he's like, how's the drug business going? That good shit selling? Sir, we're breaking, like, it's we're the greatest drug selling economy of all time.
I gotta tell you, I want to tell you, Mr. Normad, our numbers, our unemployed drug numbers are through the roof right now. We've got everybody back to work. All of the POCs, excuse me, sir, I know you don't like that term. all of the black Americans, the other Americans, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable talking about them, sir. But everybody has jobs now.
And then they bring up Rick and Cindy. Like, I want you to kill him, but make it clean. Do not get caught.
Yeah. Because Scar and the crew, they know about Laney. They know that Cindy only goes. This is how sad Cindy is. She goes to Laney's place, and she goes to Rick's place. So, like, we got a beat on her. Why am I doing Rick? We got a beat on her, Chief. I have done so many dumb voices for this whole thing. But they have a beat on her. I'm narrating now. They have a beat on her.
Do that.
Thank you for your support. You're a real Huck and not a Rick. Oh, man. This is the inspiration for Rick being such an asshole in that show, Rick and Morty.
Yeah. The show you don't get because it's way above your head.
Hey, I actually finished that season, though, so wow. It's like the only show I finished during all of COVID.
So, Rick, he's after that tongue lashing he got from Cindy's dad, he's got to cool off in the old tub. And he's just chilling, got his fucking saggy man boobs.
Yeah. This is, again, another Neil Breen type shot because we're seeing all the fucking John de Hart nipples.
Cindy walks in. I think she's wearing like one of his shirts, like a button-down shirt.
Yep, nice Oxford long sleeve shirt.
And she's like, your favorite meal's ready.
Oh, no, she wants to make him a home-cooked meal. She's like, I'm thinking about making, like, a nice casserole, maybe a pizza casserole.
And he drops this fucking tasteful line. Why don't I have you for dessert? Skip the meal. She's like,
oh, God damn it. And then I didn't think he had the muscle tone to do this, but apparently, again, like AEW, she did a lot of the help. This is like Rio trying to suplex, what's her name?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know her name either. And so, of course, we know that the tell for Rick fucking is one of his great songs starts playing.
Oh, let's do the old Hulk. Do you want to do the Hulk Hogan thing now or in a second here? And you want
let's
to build it up?
Let's just hear a little bit of I'll Be With You.
How about I make you a nice home-cooked meal tonight?
Why don't I just have you for dessert? Forget the meal.
You always did have a sweet tooth.
I'll be with you when you want me. I'll be with you when you need me. I'll be with you when you're feeling blue. I'll be there when you're happy too. I'll be with you when you hold me. I'll be with you when you need me. Something I've got to know right now. Do you want something I've got to know right now. Do you want me everlastingly? Do you want to be only mine? If the answer is yes, I'll be with you. I'll be with you. I will always be.
Why don't I take you and get you married this weekend?
I do.
Murray, if there's a hotter scene in cinema across the universe, I don't know.
Well, I think there is, but it's coming in another 10 minutes when we get to the next sex scene featuring Rick and Cindy.
You would think I haven't seen this movie.
No, there's another one.
Every time you talk about a love scene in this movie, you forget about every other one.
There's
because
a
it's
lot.
Just, it drains
this, I think this very influenced Neil because there's a lot of nipple action in these movies.
That's what. That's what I was just saying.
Unfortunately, they're female nipples in this movie. I guess Breen was like, I'm going to flip the script, make it about my nipples.
Yeah, I mean, Breen did come. That was full 10 to 12 years later. So Breen was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a trip on everybody. Can flip the script.
And show the nip.
Wow, what are we doing here? We're killing it.
So he throws her in the tub. They have some hot tub fucking.
He does that. He fucking like tosses. He reaches behind her.
He does like a belly to back suplex.
Yeah, that's what it was because she was standing over him, leaning like, how about that casserole? He grabs her. How about I go straight to the sweets? God damn. I didn't think he had that in him.
Yeah.
Candles all over the side of the bathtub.
Right.
Champagne flutes. He had 2 there. I guess he was drinking for one, but had 2 flutes.
And then he just fucking finishes up, and he's like, hey, how about I make you the luckiest woman in the world? And
Did you notice? I'm sorry. You can see that she's totally naked.
Yeah.
They're covering up, obviously, the lower parts for her.
Right.
But you can clearly see that John is wearing his swim trunks.
Did they Frank Washington that?
Yes. You can clearly...
So we can't see his white gift?
You can...
I did not notice it, thankfully. I did not.
I would like to imagine... I'm sorry. I'd like to imagine if you could see his white gift... that
He was probably afraid he'd get a boner. I'm sure that's what it was.
I think it was.
Yeah, that shit like taped down.
I think you're dead on about it.
I don't blame him. It would be embarrassing. I mean, come on. You got a hot chick writhing on you. It might happen. You can't control your dick.
25 years his what I forget how that would work out. But I have to imagine his gift would have a little black belt on it. Like to operate as a cock ring,
totally,
but also have a little flare on it.
I could totally see that.
I mean, he's obsessed with cock.
He rubs a little butter on it for some reason.
Rub some butter on me.
She's like, how about I make you the luckiest woman in the world and ask you to be my wife? And she's like, oh, yes, yes.
I think
great acting by Pam.
I think it was, how about I make you the luckiest woman in the world and wed you? Like, it was so caveman, and she was over the moon. Oh, man, her tits really perked up when she heard that.
Acting. Pamela Bryant, you're an unsung hero.
I'm going to agree with that. But, Murray, I fucking hate Rick. Can we get back to the real hero?
Yes, we can. Because we get back to Huck. Another scene flows into another scene. Bathtub, pool.
Very good. I love this because we come in, overhead shot. He must have had Matt Hardy's drone for this one. And so we're just looking at this overhead. But we also see that Huck has hand-painted a sign, much like the crazy person a few miles away from
We see our buddy Sam, the Native American precious dummy, in like a chaise lounge.
Who is Huck's real best friend.
Right.
And he's got this hand-painted Huck's Haven.
Right.
And we hear Huck.
Right.
It's kind of hard to hear what he's saying. He's almost got a William Shatner drawl to him at this point with a little southern twang to it.
Right.
Right. And he's preaching. But it's like, what? Wait, I know, as I mentioned earlier, I know my Bible. I don't recognize these passages, though.
No.
What is... Can I play it, Murray?
Yes, play it a little bit of it.
face, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, what are you doing?
Rick. Whoa. What am I doing? Reciting the noble noises of Huck-ism, man. You know, I mean, it's built on this new religion I've developed about Huckleberry Finn. No, seriously, this is a great theology. I mean, take off your clothes, leave your clothes on, get in the pool, man. Look, this is what's happening.
You're getting a little hardcore for me, Hug Boy.
No. And I'm serious when I say this, okay? Huckleberry Finn, what'd he do, huh? He had the courage. He had the courage, man, to go upriver, not downriver. He didn't go downriver. He went upriver. Who'd he go upriver with? He went upriver with a slave named Jim. Well, what the hell are we, huh? We're all goddamn slaves, aren't we? We're slaves. I mean, Huckleberry Finn is beyond Moses leading the Israelites, you know, out of wherever they came from into the promised land. I'm talking Huckleberry Finn.
Well, just came over to tell you, Cindy and I are getting married. As you know, no one else. You gotta be my best man. We're getting married Sunday. Be there.
I just love that this is like not that crazy. Huck's wearing like blue jeans and maybe like a blue shirt. What do you think that top was? Was it jean?
Like, I don't know. It was like a button-down shirt. I thought
it was just a button-down. Yeah. And then of course he's got those babes there.
Yeah, some babes come up.
Naked.
They're like floating on some rafts.
Yeah.
And they all got like orange, like
just a dot. Like they were eating Cheetos and they just smeared like as they were eating a full bag, they just smeared it on their head.
I want to point out he never has orange in his hair for the rest of the movie. It's like this weird scene.
One other time.
Yeah,
at the warning.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I remember the orange suit.
It was hard to tell because again, Rick was very cautious about the lighting, and also his head gets cut off in that scene.
So now Rick has found enlightenment, and he wants to share it with the world with Huck-ism.
Yeah,
and it's a little hardcore for me.
Yeah, we heard Rick mention there. That's a little hardcore. Get in the pool. Get out of the pool.
He's trying to save Rick's soul because he's found the answers, and Rick's was like, I don't know. I mean, just be ready for that wedding.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off or anything there. It's just he's trying to do it very easily, too. He's not telling Rick he's wrong about the way he's lived life. We know Rick's living the wrong life. We know Rick is a complete piece of shit. Sure, he had one thing work out for him, but...
He's in love with a drug-addicted Satanist. Yeah, he's
witnessed the baby being murdered. And did not tell anybody. Except Rick, who also is not telling anybody because he's like, this is a hot piece of ass and I'm 80 years old. This is my best chance.
I think he did give lip service, like, we're going to do something, but then he never did anything.
You know, you might be right about that. Yeah. So, Murray, this is where we get a little Neil Breen action because we're going to cut to the chase. This movie is dragging on and Rick doesn't know John de Hart doesn't know where to take it anymore. So we go straight to the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, well, at this point... Wings Hauser's taking over the movie. It's Wings.
Oh, yeah. Especially in our hearts.
Right.
And I'm patting my heart as Wings did earlier in the movie.
Yeah. He has no answer for the Huck-ism. There is no answer. It's like, believe it or, lose yourself.
The only thing we can see in this shot, as you would expect out of a wedding scene, we see the preacher, officiating the ceremony.
It's an outdoor wedding.
And we got Cindy wearing a beautiful wedding gown. Right. Looking great. And then you have Rick, who is wearing white dress pants, and he's got the white belt on, so it's blending. But then, you slowly climb up, and Murray, take me back to your Buffalo Bills days, man.
What?
Because Rick is wearing a windbreaker.
I thought he was wearing a total tracksuit. He actually had dress pants on?
That was dress pants.
Okay.
But...
It's all white with a little like blue piping, I think, like blue stripe on it.
Yeah, it's got the blue and the red.
He loves his baggy, like rugby type looking outfits.
He really does.
And I think he had like a gold chain outside of it too.
I think he did. You're right.
It was really tacky.
The windbreaker. I mean, it was windy, so I guess it was working for him.
Yeah. And Huck is better dressed. He's got an all orange suit,
looking like a Cheeto man. He's looking like Chester Cheeto here. But you barely get to see him. So if you do watch, you should watch this movie. You gotta look
if you
carefully.
can find it.
You
We're
gotta-
working on it. We're gonna if we have to release it on Blu-ray, maybe that will Merman Productions will get in the DVD business.
DVD and vinyl. I'm
Right.
gonna write a letter because I like those Mondo guys. I like them, so I'll write them a letter and say, if you don't have this vinyl record out, starting over. What other songs we got on there? Shimmy
Don't Stop
Slide.
Loving Me.
Don't Stop Loving Me.
I'll Be With You.
I'll be with you. If you guys don't get it out within the next 6 months, Merman Productions is claiming it. We got it, and we're gonna fucking release it. And we're gonna sell billions.
Billion.
We're gonna get a second Laserdisc vault after that one. So we're zooming out. We see Huck barely. His head's cut off. You only see like a little bit of his hair flowing over. Wedding's going great. They're throwing rice in the air. Everybody. Dad's not there, of course.
Of course
Cindy's
not.
dad's not there.
Not there.
Laney's there, of course. We're in the same outfit.
Yeah, she is. And so we cut to the honeymoon. Where's we get this bizarre cutaway of helicopters and then a boat.
Oh, yeah. We look at Citibank where we just see a helicopter in fog. Because I think it was like an L.A. shot or something where they have the smog problem. So it's like smoggy as all fucking hell. You're right. And then the boat. And then we hear another. This is a new jam.
Right.
But it's very abbreviated. We barely
Right.
get to hear it. So I thought they were trying
But it's we've now been trained to think when we hear a fucking John de Hart jam, there's going to be some fucking later on.
This is a good point. I mean, we get
It's,
it.
it's Pavlovian now. We're like, all right, they're going to fuck.
Oh, like you're bringing science in this shit. That's
Yeah.
amazing. We're
Yes.
so good at this. So, like we're good at podcasting. Cindy, our Pamela, she's great at getting naked, and she does it a lot.
That's why she was a Playboy Playmate. They're the cream of the crop.
And as we pan across this bedroom, we're slowly working our way to the corner where there's a fireplace. John, of course, or excuse me,
Yeah.
Rick has a fireplace.
There's nothing
in his room
sexier
too.
than a fireplace. That was also another one of Pamela's turn-ons, fireplace.
Yeah, and then we hear the record scratch, and then we hear Shimmy Slide start back up. And now we're slowly working our way up, and we're panning out, and we're seeing all of Pamela. She's got all the
She's
negligee
got
on.
5 pairs of panties on.
Yes.
And she removes all of them right down to a thong.
Very slowly. She's also got the fucking super gloves on where they go
the
to your elbows.
Opera gloves, yeah.
Opera gloves. And she's taking them off very
She knows how to work
slowly.
it. She knows what she's doing. She
Throwing-
probably had to strip while she was on drugs.
This is a good point. And finally she says, I'm going to show you the girl you really married.
Send it in.
Send it in.
We see these saggy, like, pile of human flesh in a bed. It's Rick. Send it in.
He's doing the daytime TV thing where he's got the cover. He's in bed, naked, quotes, with the covers pulled up over his nipples. So he's not full Neil Breen here. And then you've got Cindy who gets on top of him, and you have her ass just right in the camera. And then she finally lowers.
Well lit ass.
Yeah. And then she fucking lowers it to, right. Oh, it's just gross saying it. Right on John. Oh, Rick, excuse me.
Send it in.
Send it in. Oh.
So thankfully we cut away from this one. He doesn't linger on this one because we got shit to do. So we cut back to that sketchy crew: Scar, Fabio, fucking Bleachhead, and they go back to the Laney's bar and they're asking about Cindy, and the bartender's like, nothing's going on tonight. The bar's closed because the owner was at a wedding today.
Yeah, we had a wedding today. Oh, who was getting married?
I don't know what that voice was.
I don't know either.
Who was getting married? Vinny's with him? And she's like, I don't know anything. You fucking bitch, you bastard. They grab her by her hair, yank her over the fucking bar.
It was the owner's daughter. Fuck.
She was the owner's daughter, too? She was Cindy's
No,
sister?
she was saying who got married.
Right. She's like, I just fucking work here. I don't fucking know the inner workings of lives
do.
of my fucking... I'm not Rick.
They do cut her open. I mean, cut her
Well,
clothes
rip
off.
her top off.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn. So they cut away, so we're assuming she got raped. I don't know.
We're also assuming that they figured out. They know that she goes to Rick. So what information were they looking for here? Maybe they just thought they were going to find her.
know.
They were disappointed, so they raped the bartender.
Maybe there was originally going to be a rape scene, and the actress like, no, I'm not getting naked for this scene. So they filmed it, and they're like, well, fucking throw it in. Throw it in. He maybe ran out of the song for a fuck scene, so he's like, I don't have another song.
And also, I only paid her so much, so she's not going to go down on me.
So the next scene is the weirdest scene of all. Because...
No, this is the most amazing scene of all.
Okay, so it's another great shot where we see Cindy combing her hair in front of like a vanity, and we're looking at the mirror, and we see our boy Rick in the bed with his fucking Garth Brooks shirt on, chilling.
Oh, what? Was he?
Yeah.
I thought he was naked still.
No, he was dressed.
Okay.
And he was all cocky, he was all like this. And
yeah.
And she noticed there's a fucking picture like in the vanity like of Normad
in the mirror. Like you would do in high school when you
like
have
a
the
girl
boy,
would do in high school.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say the boy, but then I was gonna be like the girl because I'm a guy. But yeah, she pulls out the picture of
like,
Norman.
Oh my God, this is the guy that killed that baby. What?
Norman?
That's Norman. That's the guy that got fired. This is a Satanist. Well, we gotta go to the cops right now. I mean, you did tell me about a murder, 5 months ago, but now we're going to go to the cops. So they hop on their Harley.
Oh, man. And I was like, I had to watch the scene several times because props are coming and going as they please. So get in, we're driving off, and the sketch crew just happens to be like have pulled up and saw that they were driving off. So like, we're going to tail them. We're going to follow them. And they never really I didn't think there was any like serious threat here. I thought they stayed a pretty safe distance from
Rick crashed the fucking car. They did nothing to Rick.
Exactly.
They're just tailing them, and then Rick loses control. They didn't tap them. They didn't do anything.
Yeah, I thought Rick just had a senior moment, or maybe he was looking at the GPS, and back in the days, 93, GPS was awful, so it took him up into the mountains, because he did have a dirt
Well, you
bike.
think he'd know where the police station is. He did work there.
He worked there for years, and yet we ended up in the fucking mountains.
So he loses control and crashes. Cindy goes flying, and the guys go, "Hey, we got him. You didn't get shit."
We got him, yeah.
I guess they're gonna tell Normad that so they can get some of that sweet cocaine.
Yeah.
And then we get the fucking most emotional scene where he's clutching dead Cindy. Oh, Cindy, no. Who will I whose nipples will I rub ice on now? No, I'm ready to get even.
I swear to you, I'll get heaven.
And so...
what's the appropriate song for this? Do you think he would reuse a song, or do you think he'd write a whole new song?
Shimmy Slide, I think, would work in this scene.
I can't believe I lost you.
Hot damn!
Hot damn!
So we cut to the funeral, the exact same place they got married.
Yes.
Apparently they got married in a cemetery.
Yes. You are... That is something...
Finally, Dad will show up for the fucking funeral.
Yeah. And he's like, I told you should have been hanging out with those druggies.
And he's like, everyone walks away. And then Huck, he puts his hand on his shoulder. I got something to tell you.
Yeah.
But this is kind of inappropriate. I understand. He walks away. I'm like, we never learned what he had to tell him. I'm furious.
Yeah, but
at this point, I'm invested in Huck. I want to know what scheme Huck is up to.
He whispers and he says, just come by later. Come by later. Come by later. I realized you were a friend to me, and now I'm going to be a better friend to you. Come by later. Come by later.
And then he kneels at the fucking headstone. Well, it's not even a headstone. It's just flowers. And he's like, I'm going to get even for you, Cindy. I'm going to get even.
So, like the piece of shit that Rick is, now that he doesn't have Cindy in his life, he immediately goes back.
Best friends with Huck.
Moves in with Huck again.
Hey, Huck, what are you doing? I thought we could hang out later tonight.
I noticed you put a bed in my punching bag room, so go ahead and remove that. Your creepy friend Sam
punching bag room. It's his dojo.
Excuse me, thank you.
My dojo.
I noticed your friend Sam was in there. Get him out of there. He's scared.
I'm gonna need a fucking room for my dog. Poo poo.
Poo poo.
And he's just fucking doing the weakest fucking punches in this bag.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like Neil Breen typing on a computer. It's like,
it is the Neil Breen typing on a punching bag.
Slap fighting with a punching bag.
Kurt Sloan right now is rolling in his grave. He is like, this motherfucker is putting a whole new term to tippy taps, because holy shit.
It's slippy slaps.
These are slippy slaps. But
and
Huck pops in the doorway.
Right.
And
Huck actually can recognize a friend's in pain.
Yeah. And he is full Huck. at this point.
He's dressed like Huckleberry Finn now.
Pant legs rolled up.
Got the fucking straw hat on.
Straw hanging out of his mouth. Hey, man, I realize that you are in so much pain. I just have to tell you, I know you need somebody. I know you need somebody. This man saved my life. Man. Right? Okay.
And he walks out, and he comes back in with Sam.
In a wheelchair, and he wheels him in there. Oh, my God.
You saved my life! And then he just walks out. And fucking Rick does nothing about that. He just waits till night falls. He starts prepping. He puts on his best tank top to show off those puny arms. Got the fingerless gloves on again.
Got a nipple hanging out.
Got a nipple ring. And he's like, time to get Kevin. And so he's ready to hit Normad. But Normad, just as luck would have it, is getting the biggest drug deal of his life. Pablo Escobar's fucking cousin is showing up. For the good shit. This is the real good shit.
So he's taking off his judge's robe, and he's putting on a nice purple, top, button-up shirt. But then what Normad is always really worried about, glasses.
Right.
He's calling his boys in. Guys!
What do you think about these, baby?
And he's slowly adjusting.
And he's got like some Bret Hart fucking wraparound shit.
They were great. They were great.
And he's like, they look great, boss. Whatever you say. I just want some of that good shit.
And then I'm sorry. You hear some brakes squeak up, and they're like, boss, they're here. So he rushes down there to meet his guests.
This huge compound. We forgot to point out, every time we go to Normad's, we get this scene of like a drive-by scene of this like palatial estate with a bizarre filter on it. And it gets darker as each time we see it.
It's very much the Neil Breen ripoff of David Lynch type of thing where it's supposed to be super ominous.
Very ominous music.
Yeah.
And so we see that, and then while he's preparing for the meeting with Pablo Escobar's cousin, we see Rick picking people off with his crossbow.
Yeah, he immediately pops up in the house, doesn't he? He doesn't even take it out.
He takes out some guys
outside.
He shoots a guy in the throat. Or something
I thought that
like
was all inside though.
No, he does some outside shit because he climbs. There's like a wall going around. He climbs the wall.
Happened to be some lattice work nearby.
Yeah.
So the turtle man could climb up it.
And he takes some dudes out, and then he gets in the house.
He should have been a Ninja Turtle because that's what turtles would have fought like.
And I always thought only knives make you die silently, but crossbows do too.
I was saying last week, I made sure to point it out that, who was it last week? I can't even remember what we did last week.
We did Miami Connection.
That's right. Week. They actually did it where a guy got hit in the throat and still yelled. But John de Hart's like, that was bullshit. That's my one problem with Grandmaster YK Kim.
So while he's taking everybody out, Normad's having a meeting with Pablo Escobar's cousin.
Yep.
And his beautiful wife.
Gloria.
Like, oh, you look very attractive tonight. Why, thank you. Here's the money. Give me some of that good shit. And of course, he has to fucking do a little gummy for it to make sure it's that good shit.
Of course.
And it's just about to seal the deal. And then Scar comes in. Hey, boss, I don't know what happened, but everybody outside's got a crossbow through their throat. I just thought you would like to know that.
So, all right.
Are we still on for coffee later? And then the fucking Pablo Escobar's cousin is like, what the fuck? Why are you like, selling me out? And he's like, no, don't worry about it. And then he just pulls out a gun and shoots both of them.
Yeah, you almost sound like Normad was worried in that scene. He seemed like, all right, there's a good opportunity to kill him.
Yeah, because that won't piss off the drug lords in like Colombia.
Yeah.
But he does it. He just doesn't care anymore.
So
he's finally found the best shades. So he's like, I don't give a fuck.
So Rick does not want to show off too much of this house. Just to say, John de Hart doesn't want to show too much of this house off.
It's probably the same house that they've been living in, Huck and Rick.
Exactly.
All right.
So they do like a little Nintendo scene where you have people popping out of doorways. And
yeah, it's like a nice hallway scene.
Yeah, you have the light gun.
It's like Duck Hunt. Yeah. Hogan's Ale. Was that Hogan's Ale? What was the one, though, they had like gangsters?
Yeah, it was Hogan's Ale.
Hogan's Ale.
You nailed it, man.
Yeah, there you
nice
go.
job. So, yeah, you got all the people popping out. But really what matters here is that, Rick takes him out. No big deal. Whatever. Yeah. And
one guy he takes 3 shots at. Everyone else he hits
really?
once.
3 shots?
Right.
Fuck, get to heaven.
Yeah.
So he finally gets over to where Normad is hiding.
We go straight to his satanic altar.
It's in his backyard.
And we learned, if you know, 101 of drug dealing is you don't get high on your own supply.
I'm sorry. I just want to point out that Cindy couldn't even remember. She's been hanging out with this cult for months.
Right.
Couldn't remember where his house was. It's not hidden.
You know what it was? They probably put her in blindfolded until she killed a baby.
Or drugged her.
Well, she was on drugs.
Maybe drugged and blindfolded, yeah.
I believe both. Normad's a scumbag. He's a bad dude.
He really is. High on his own supply.
And this guy's face is covered with coke, and he's just like, you're the kind of puke that makes the world decay.
Oh, Rick, come on. Come on.
And
not even Schwarzenegger could deliver that line.
And just as he's about to go ahead and kick the shit out of Normad, Fabio and Scar show up, and they grab Rick and see this guy out, kill him. And they take him out, and then this is something Rick could never even contemplate doing in his life. Who shows up to save the day? Who's the hero of this movie? Who really gets heavens?
I'm sorry. I don't even know what happens in this scene because they go through some bushes, some gunshots go off, and then fucking Huck's there. And Huck somehow breaks up, frees Rick, but takes a bullet in the process.
Right in the kneecap.
And
he's like, and then Rick immediately bails on him.
Doesn't even hey, can I tie it off for you or anything? Field dress it?
No.
None of that.
Huck has to do that himself. He takes his belt off.
Friend, starting over.
And he goes back, and then that's when he hits that classic, you're the kind of puke that makes the world decay.
Yeah, because Normad goes right back to snorting cocaine.
Right.
He's like, I wish I had a baby here to murder.
This shit is too good for fucking drug addicts. This is for me. And then we get a very boring, very slow motion, two elderly men fighting.
Oh, my God.
And then I guess Rick had watched Miami. He listened to our episode and then watched Miami Connection because he does the exact same knife move that
slow motion and
Grandmaster YK Kim does, where he spins the knife around.
Will Smith, a.k.a. Normad, goes overhand with the knife, and Rick grabs his wrist, puts his back to him, turns it around, stabs him right in the gut with his own momentum.
And then YK slow motion falls on the altar. And then we see some flames kind of superimposed in front of.
Oh, yeah, because he lights the Church of Satan on fire.
Yes.
So I was
shockingly,
worried.
Rick.
I was very worried about this too. We're worried about one character in this movie.
He's like, oh yeah, I forgot Huck's here. I guess I need somebody to drive me.
Yeah.
So he rescues. He helps Huck into the car, and they take off. So we cut back to Rick, heartbroken in his finest USA denims.
A beautiful
American flag. I would never kneel. It's blowing my mind because he's wearing the most patriotic outfit, but kneeling.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to reassess how we attacked Colin Kaepernick.
I think maybe we should.
Maybe if we had shown Trump this, he wouldn't have called the players sons of bitches.
I think you're right about that.
Because he's being totally respectful to the flag while he's kneeling over the grave of Cindy.
Of course, where they also got married.
Yes.
That's worth mentioning.
And then that fucking nun that is the worst line reader of them all goes, hello there. I have something to show you. Well, no, I'm communing with my wife right now.
I would like a moment alone. I don't want to tell you where this is going.
Trust me. You need to come with me.
Have I told you about the shoeless people and the footless people? Well, sister, I don't know about that.
Sister, it's water. And then she takes him to the hospital. And we find out Cindy's alive!
What?
And she's like, yeah, I came to at the ambulance. You were so over. You didn't even check my pulse. It was just like you're like, oh, she's dead. I guess I'm gonna fuck somebody else.
See, that was commentary about cops. They didn't even know how to check a pulse.
Right. And yeah, she literally came to in the ambulance, and she's like, the doctors and the nun thought it would be best if we just faked my death.
Okay.
What the fuck? They don't know anything about this shit. Why are they like, hey, you need to fake your death?
Yeah.
Maybe they looked at Rick and were like, you can't be with that drip.
Yeah. That was probably what it was. Like, we're gonna.
They're like, you were involved with Satanists and drug dealers? We wanted to keep away from this guy.
They were like, we noticed you had this demo tape in your pocket about starting over, and we figured that was your call to start a new life.
Starting over.
Getting away from that.
When you
drip,
gotta
Rick.
fake your death to make it right. So, and then they hug, and then one more time with the shimmy slide. When John de Hart pays for something, he gets his money's worth.
For fuck's sake.
It's like what was that song from White Fire? White Fire, White Fire. That would pop up 5 million times.
Yeah.
So wow.
Rick learns nothing through this whole experience. Huck, by the way, learns so many. He evolves. He's
I believe
adapting.
Huck in this world of Getevin is like has a super church now, and he's found world peace. Like there's no like hunger anymore. There's no pain. There's no suffering.
I think when that church of Satan burned down, it was symbolism that when one church goes, a new church needs to go.
It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Church of Huck.
Rising from the ashes. It's water.
Church of Huck. It's taking over.
Church of Huck-ism.
Huck-ism.
Just look into it. Do your research.
Do your research. Come on, we can't do it all for you. We do so much. We can't do it all.
Yeah, we just did 3 hours on this movie.
Jesus Christ.
Did we do 3 hours?
No.
Close to it.
Close to.
Oh, I'll ramble enough to make it 3 hours.
Over 2 hours.
So, all right. I mean, I don't know how you can end Mr. Genius. I don't know how we can top it, but somehow we're going to top it because we have so much for next. People are like fucking riots in the streets, cops killing people, people dying of COVID. But for some people, the biggest problem going on is, I can't see Wonder Woman this summer because of the fucking COVID. Well, you're a piece of shit, first of all.
Yeah.
But Golden Globe City is going to help you out because next month we're doing Not So Superhero Month where we're going to do the best, worst, and in between of superhero movies. And we're starting off with, of course, next week is the birth of our nation where we're going to celebrate because we're patriots.
Oh, shit. I forgot to get a birthday gift for our nation.
Well, you can't get birthday cakes anymore, Griff. I learned that the hard way.
No,
Still, 3 months, almost 4 months later, have not gotten my birthday cake. I'm furious. Thanks for bringing that up. Thank you. Live.
Number one.
Number one. I want to kill you, and that birthday cake motherfucker.
I forgot.
So, we're starting off with the most patriotic character of all. Of course, we know the true Captain America is Red Brown.
Yeah, I who is the other guy? Children Evans or something?
Children Evans, you're right.
I'm sorry. I went for C and Children came out. I am an idiot.
Children Evans, no. We're going to do the third best Captain America, but the best Golden Globus production of a Captain America movie. Yes, we're finally getting around to the canon take on Captain America from 1989 or 90 with Matt Salinger, J.D. Salinger's son, who apparently, much like his dad, did one book, he did one movie, and then disappeared.
Okay.
And so, of course, the movie's famous for having the Captain America with rubber ears in it and an Italian Red Skull.
Oh.
So enjoy that when we celebrate the birth of our nation with Captain America. And I think we're just going to start it over when you got to keep it warm and keep it right.